Hi, this is Mel. This is probably the upteenth millionth time I've attempted to do this video. It seems to not really be working all that well. So I'm going to try for one more time, and if nothing else works, I'm going to just use one of the other videos I made. Um, just hoping for something better. Uh, as I said, this is Mel. As many of my friends know, in about 2 weeks I'm going to be going to Israel. Well, I should also say some of my family do know, some of my family does not know. So if any of my family members are running into this video and are going, what just happened? Yeah, I'm going to Israel. I want a trip. And some of my friends are paying for part of the plane ticket. So I'm going. Yeah. The person who does not like to fly is going to be traveling a very long time and connecting through all sorts of places. And this person has never been out of the country before. So, and to make everything a little bit more complicated, I have this thing about checking bags. Well, actually, I have a thing about anything being left out of my sight, and I'm just not going to check bags, and I trust nobody, and quite frankly, that's basically the way it is. So, I'm going to be doing this out of carry-on, and with the main airline that I'm going to Israel on, they have a very strict weight limit of 8 kilograms and one carry-on, and you can't bring a laptop bag as a personal item. So apparently, while you can get the free laptop and you can bring that on for, as your free one, you can't bring the bag. I do not know how they work that out. I'm okay. So I'm limited to a carry-on of 8 kilograms. Now, if it was that plus the laptop bag, I'd have no problems because despite the fact that my family is always prepared, regardless of where we're going, for any possible environment we could possibly find ourselves in, I'm I like to think of myself as a much more efficient packer, and I always find things that'll do 2, 3 different jobs. So I'm still fairly prepared. I'm also a former scout, so I'm kind of obliged to be. So I'm doing this out of not only a backpack, but also a travel vest because let's see, my weight, when I actually weighed the travel vest as it is right now, it is over a little bit over 3.5 kilograms, and my backpack is just under 7, I believe, kilograms. So if I basically had like 11 kilograms to play with in one pick carry-on, I would have been fine. But I have to do a travel vest as well. And so one of the first things you're going to ask is, well, what are you going to wear on the plane? So it's going to be something like this. What you see me wearing is a black 100% wool shirt. And apparently this type of wool is very good for temperature extremes. And apparently I should be perfectly fine. I'm originally from South Florida, and I can't even tell you if we ever owned any wool, but apparently this type of wool it's keeps you cool in summer and warm in winter. Okay, so we'll see how that works out. Um, and yeah, that's going to be interesting. And in Israel it's going to be somewhere from like 50 degrees to 80, and I'm fine in 80-degree weather, and 50 I start getting nippy. As I said, I'm originally from Florida. We don't have like 50-degree weather except for like a few, weekends out of the year. They're the type of people that will put, air conditioner on in the, middle of winter because it's warm out. So outside of this is actually designed to be used as a base layer. So there may be an overshirt over it. First, this is I'm a good little Jew. I've got my seat on. Got cargos. I will not be going barefoot. I will actually be wearing, sandals. Though going barefoot would probably make my trip through TSA just a little bit easier. But then you have to take your shoes off anyway. And so I also have the sandals, which you just saw. And those are going to be for hiking, walking, and water shoes or something. Okay, so what are we going to do? Let's do my travel vest first. I'll set that down. Yep, this is over 7 pounds of stuff, approaching 8. This is actually one of the Scottevest vests, and I actually packed it so full of stuff that I cannot close it. And that's fine. I don't need to close it. At least not on the trip. Or the flying. So as long as I get through TSA and the weight limit, I can start moving things out. So I normally would take an extra small, but they only make smalls and up. So that's fine. I bought a small. That's just more stuff I can put in it. So let's see what I have actually put in the vest. Well, first of all, we have a pen. And actually, we have another pen right here. In my pocket here, we have tissues, which will also potentially help on Shabbat because you're really not supposed to be tearing paper. And in case I'm in an area where there's no pre-torn, use tissues. They should be individual and shouldn't be connected and should be okay. We've got 2 additional kippot. Almost everything I'm wearing is either blue or black, so these things should work fine. See, and there was nothing else in this particular pocket. This is what happens when you pack so much stuff into a small vest. In all fairness, there is a lot of stuff in this particular thing. Actually, let's take this off. That actually might make it easier. And that's actually coming from the toiletries thing. I do not think that is coming from the vest at all. This, on the other hand, is full of stuff, making all sorts of racket. I mean, seriously, that's completely packed. You've got everything in it. Deodorant, lots of gum, toothpicks, deodorant, more sunscreen. You'll see more sunscreen later. A laundry bag. Got some hand soap sheets that put a few drops of water on, turns into real soap. Never used them before in my life. We're going to find out how they work. Brush with mirror. Not like I've got that much hair right now. I actually cut all my long hair off in preparation for this trip. Laundry bag, gum, razors, toothpicks. See here. Toothbrush, all the stuff you would need. The only thing all you haven't put in here is literally bandages yet. Earplugs for the plane, razors. Actually, we have even more razors other places too. So, I still got room. Actually, I need to make sure I don't fill that thing up completely, or else you're gonna hear all sorts of noises again. Got a travel umbrella because it does rain in Israel. Actually, I can put this back on now because that was the hardest thing to get in and out. Because it's actually a little strangely shaped. We've got water bottle. Actually, you can just refill it and can hook it things. I can hook it to my belt, or I can hook this wherever I want. I actually tested this out 2 days ago, and it works fairly well. It's a water bottle. And we've got a towel. According to the reviews, some people also use this as a blanket as well as a pillow. I have not even taken this out of the container. So I cannot state if it actually will work as a blanket or a pillow. I mean, it's a little small, and this is actually a medium, but apparently some people are able to do it fine. I picked it because, well, I probably needed a towel just in case, and apparently these were supposed to be fairly good. What else is in here? Hooded poncho. This is actually where you're supposed to hook up your keys. My keys will eventually be on here, but right now I also have a flashlight. Nothing else in there. And of course, you know, one of the reasons I'm showing you guys all of this is because some of my friends think I'm on the border of insane for doing this without checking baggage. Actually, I can hear them still laughing at me as I'm doing this video, despite the fact they're not even here, but I can hear them in my head. Over here is where I'm going to put the iPhone. It seems to be doing a much better job of recording videos than my camera was. So that's where I'm recording off that now. Got some place for sunglasses. You got the wipe that comes in here. That might not be the actual sunglasses that are going, but probably are. Not sure. I actually bought them for the trip. What else is in here? Over here is actually the pocket for the camera. Here's my camera. It can't do as long of a video as this actually is requiring. It would have kicked off by now. I know. That's how I did the first 4 of these things before I realized it was a problem with the camera. It was low video limit. I've got some gum. Actually, this is kosher gum. I'm about 2 hours from Toco Hills, which is the unorthodox neighborhood in Atlanta, and every time I go by, I go and buy kosher food because we don't have kosher food where I live. And they had kosher gum on sale. So I was like, wow, I never thought of ever getting a extra for gum. But then again, I also don't chew a lot of gum anymore. Okay, so let's actually do the inside pocket here. I already pulled off the one pen. I've got my iPod Touch that's actually going to be used as an MP3 player, etc. on the plane, so that I don't kill my iPhone's battery. I have to worry. This pocket here is actually supposed to be for an iPad. If you're, I think it's a size medium and up. I, first of all, do not need a size medium and up. I am small enough as it is. And I don't have an iPad in the first place. So I'm going to fill it with stuff I actually will use on the trip, such as Israel, a companion for the modern Jewish pilgrim, which was suggested to me by one of my Beit Din. I have, actually this is shekels. Surprisingly, the Wells Fargo lady, when I ordered currency, did not know what a shekel was, and she was the actual person in charge of that. So I've got to return back to the Wells Fargo after this trip and quiz her on what a shekel is, because she couldn't even pronounce it. I just said, the Israeli money, and that helped. She still can't figure it out. I'm actually not leaving for quite a while, but at least I'm prepared for enough money that I have. Israel, mostly got it because there is a nice pull-out map, and it's already been pre-labeled for some of the things I actually need to go to in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, or at least roughly. And that's nothing else in that thing. So another pocket that's for your passport, and well, there's my passport in one of them little holders, just in case somebody wants to steal an identity. Newsflash, guys, you probably don't want mine. Okay, and that's, I think that's for that side. So, here. In here, this is where, let's see, right now I've got my plug adapter, because Israel does not take US standard, plugs, so you need an adapter, and that's this one. They also don't use the same voltage that we do, but in the off chance I need one, though most of my stuff is multi-voltage, I can borrow a friend's. That is, but luckily my laptop's multi-voltage, and so is the battery charger for my camera, in case I use that instead of the iPhone. But the iPhone, of course, can charge through my computer. So again, plug adapter. This is the cords for the iPod Touch. My cord for the phone hasn't been moved in here yet, so I'm actually going to put this in just so I don't lose it. Because I do refuse to do laundry, and I'm not bringing dirty underwear back. I've got this disposable stuff. This actually, apparently, they're designed to not last very long, so you can throw it in a washing machine, but in all likelihood, they're not going to survive more than a few washings anyway. So they're actually designed to be disposable. Actually, say disposable on them. I've got more. Remember, your mother always says, make sure you put on clean underwear. And that should actually get me through the trip. Oh, and the back pocket. So, thing I remember most about my previous vest, this is actually my second vest I've had from Scottevest. My first one I got in 2007. Everybody made fun of me. Because it had 22 pockets, and stupidly I gave it away just a few months ago. It's 2013 now, before I realized I was going to be going to Israel on fairly short notice, and having to travel fairly light. So this gave me an opportunity to see what Scottevest was making in 2013 as opposed to 2007. And newsflash, they've got another vest, and it is 24 pockets. So heaven help my family, who were going, oh, thank God Mel gave that stupid vest away. Well, joke's on y'all, I got another one. This is how I remember the last one. The last vest I actually was able to squeeze my laptop in. Wasn't very comfortable, but you could do it. I think that vest was probably bigger than this one was. But that's okay, because it can hold stuff like, clothing. Like, I've got some travel boxers that are actually also from Scottevest. If I had known about these before I learned about the disposable underwear, I may have just gotten this. But on a positive note, this is also designed to be used as shorts and bathing suit. It can be easily adapted, to a button or something. And it's also got pockets. So that's how I'm going to be using this, as basically a bathing suit. Because it's also much smaller than what I was originally going to be bringing. It's about maybe a third of the size once you get all the air out of the thing. Like I said, traveling light is, can be difficult, can be very easy. I've got 2 pairs of socks, as well as some Keepa clips. I also have somewhere in here, oh yeah, there they are. I've got additional bobby pins. I lose bobby pins and Keepa clips like crazy. I would be surprised if I came back without having to purchase more when I'm over there. I've got 2 shirts. One of that is for Shabbat. I also have a pair of pajama pants, and I think Baruch Hashem that this is. It's sometimes more difficult to just find all the stuff that's in there. And, there was still at least that one memory card I didn't pull out. So, let's move my camera over. All right. Phew. I don't look forward to having to restock that vest. So now you've seen the majority of the stuff. That's the stuff I'm literally wearing onto the plane, all in a vest. Now I haven't touched the carry-on, the actual carry-on. That actually counts as clothing. So yes, I'm wearing it onto the plane as opposed to carrying it. So there's a kind of a loophole. Apparently, TSA says, "Yep, you're fine." It counts basically as a coat, effectively. Let's see here. Now, I'm not 100% sure which backpack I'm actually taking to Israel yet, because I've got two options. I have my actual favorite backpack that actually is a laptop bag. That's actually what it was designed for. And if anybody who went to high school with me should recognize this backpack. Same one. So surprisingly, I used to break backpacks all the time, but this thing has survived and has traveled actually all over the country. So it may be the one. It's also smaller than the other one that you're about to see, but we're going to decide that later. It's actually more comfortable to carry too, but there are other things I kind of worry about. Okay, so this is the other one. This is actually designed more for hiking than for schlepping, basically, and that's more designed for actual schlepping. So, stuff I've got in here, and actually I'll pull this so you can't say, "Oh, sleight of hand, he's hiding stuff. He's pulling it from somewhere else. He's not really doing it." Okay, so we've got, of course, a luggage tag. And I'm not sure if you saw, but this was completely zippered right before I moved the camera. We've got a pair of shoes for Shabbat. Got a belt. Also the dress belt for, again, Shabbat. Got my laptop. The only thing I haven't put in the bag there so far is the charger. I have a bag within a bag. And that's just in case I have to be moved out of my seat. I can at least grab that bag, and it makes my life on the plane potentially easier, especially if this has to go up. So I've got a mini journal. It's not a moleskin, but it's kind of like a generic moleskin. It's it's one of those type of things. I've got some important numbers, like my cousin who's a little bit outside of Jerusalem. Her number's in here. The number of the group, the head of the group I'm going with. Basically my little note-taking situation. I know people who say that if you're sickly or have to take a lot of medications, it might be harder to pack light. Well, these are all the medications. These are all my prescription medications that I have to take. To make it harder, this is actually liquid, so I'm not entirely sure where that goes. I think I can keep that separate and take an unlimited amount, but I'm actually going to throw it in the liquids section just in case. But otherwise, I've got epilepsy medications, anxiety medications, because I do not travel well. But the epilepsy medication is very important, and this is testosterone. Here's actually all the liquids. So far, we've got let me see here. We got toothpaste, facial wash, hand sanitizer, some of those little mini single-use shampoo conditioner things, sunscreen. This is actually body wash, but I usually use it to shave with because it actually works better than most of the shaving stuff I have. Don't ask me, especially if you're doing a manual shave and not electric. So what else do we have? So I've got another luggage container, a luggage tag, just in case I have to buy another thing and actually check something, or I find out that they were just joking about the laptop bag, or in case they make me put a tag on the vest. I mean, that's almost weighs almost as much as the carry-on. So we've also got another travel wallet that actually will hook to a belt, just in case I don't have the vest on me all the time. I've got more razors than I humanly possibly need, but the thing is that I get a 5 o'clock shadow at noon, so that's one of the reasons I frequently just don't shave. So if anybody knows, is like, does Mel ever shave? Mel does shave. Mel just is tired. So I'm not sure. I don't think there was. I'm not sure what else was in there, but I think that was most of what that was. This is actually a hat. We can actually crumple this up really, really tight. It actually pops back open. Yeah. I will look like a total dork and a total tourist, but I do not care. I do not want the sun in my eyes when I'm hiking through some of the places I'm going to be hiking and walking. And a kippa does not keep much sun out of your eyes, if really, if any at all. It's hard to tell. The camera can actually probably see it better than I can, just because of how that works, because it's really hard to tell. But there are actually two shirts in there. They're basically the same color. I didn't realize how close the colors were until I put them in. I said, didn't I put... Wow, this is big for one shirt. Yeah, it's actually two. We've got 2 additional shirts. Tie-dye shirt, just so I can... For people who don't know what I look like, I can say, look, I'm sitting at blankety blank wearing tie-dye. You know, it was either that or go Hawaiian, and quite frankly, I like tie-dye better. The blue one is another one of these 100% wool things. Apparently, this wool stuff is supposed to be antimicrobial, so in theory, I shouldn't have to wash it too badly before it starts to smell. I'm not sure. Apparently, you can wear these things for like a couple of weeks and nobody will notice. I'm gonna rinse it out in all likelihood, especially if it gets really, really bad, or I'm sure I'm gonna have time. Pair of pants for Shabbos. Okay, good. That. Now this is the stuff that I'm kind of more worried about putting in the other bag, because there's not a good enough divider, and I don't want to I don't want to disrespect the items, but that's kind of why that's one of the benefits of this bag. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing. Oh, actually, let's put up the stuff that's not that I can kind of disrespect. Well, that's not these are some dry bags. This is the important stuff. So this is actually my talit. I actually have my siddur in here as well, because I have one of them little teeny tiny travel siddurs. Yeah, I have a Mishkan tefillah for travelers. I require transliteration in order to keep up with the congregation. If I'm davening alone, that's different. One of my telitot. That's my smaller one. And my tefillin. So, and these are the two things I'm kind of, the talit and the tefillin are kind of, at least here I can keep them separate from my other stuff that I have. So, that is what I'm taking. And you've now seen everything. It's really not that bad. At least I like to think it's not that bad. I mean, I can even reduce further, but, I'm traveling with a group who I do not know, and quite frankly, if I was traveling with my family, I'd have reduced stuff to, probably to half by now, but I don't really want to do, like I said, excessive laundry, or ideally any laundry. So, if I have to rinse out a shirt or two, that's one thing. If I'm not doing, socks and underwear in the sink, that would be, no, I do not know these people that well. So that is what I'm doing. And for all of my friends who said that was not possible, I think it is. And contrary to what my significant other would say, if I, he was like, you must bring everything. In the event that I missed something, that I forgot something, I'm sure there are stores in Israel. Um, I also hear that there are cars because I have some friends who are convinced I'm going to be traveling from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem on a camel. I don't think I am. I think I'm going by bus, like many other people, and I'm sure there are people that have cars. I mean, hitchhiking is common, and I'm sure not everybody is going on the camel. So I also am assuming that they do actually have stores in Israel. My partner says, "Yeah, but you can't just walk down to a Walmart and buy stuff." I said, "That's okay, because I don't shop at Walmart anyway, and yeah, there are no Walmarts in Israel, but they do have stores. Not every store is required to be a Walmart." So, besides, apparently there's practically a mall in the airport. So anything I'm desperate to need and I have forgotten, I can buy that. So I'm hoping that I now get some respect from my friends, although I can actually hear some of my friends still laughing at me, because they think that it's, I don't know, funny that Mel is going 2 weeks in Israel without checked baggage. My thoughts are, people backpack across Europe, for months and months and months at a time. And I can't do this for 2 weeks in Israel. Why? You know, there are people that showed up to Israel with less stuff. So, uh, I hope to actually do some reviews of some of the items that I purchased and that I'm dragging to Israel with me when I get back. And though it might actually be after the bar mitzvah, because as I leave in 2 weeks to go to Israel, I'll be there for 2 weeks, and then basically just 5 days later, I am having a bar mitzvah ceremony. So I'll probably be waiting until after that because I'm going to be going crazy that week because I'm doing it all by myself, basically. So um, I hope to see you guys soon, and hopefully you guys are going to be not laughing at this travel thing too much. Okay, and have a nice day. Bye.